Welcome to the official Jets podcast. I'm Eric Allen. We are presented as always by WynnBET. Betting is a team sport. Bet together at WynnBET. Next week, I will be rejoined by my teammate, Bart Scott. The Matt Backer has off this week, but we are back after the bye. We have a fantastic pod in store for you. A lengthy interview with an electrifying rookie receiver, Garrett Wilson. Before we get to that, please subscribe, review, and rate. And then also, if you're watching on YouTube, give us a like. We're having so much fun on the podcast this year, and I think you're going to love this episode as we get the second half of the season underway in style with Garrett Wilson. Garrett, I wanted to ask you how your bye weekend was.
Man, it was great. I feel like I took full advantage, spent it up here and got some sleep, got my legs back under me, so I'm feeling good, going into this week 10.
I got to imagine a lot of people from Ohio State wanted you back, huh?
I wanted to be back. But once again, I feel like once I travel and kind of get into that, I don't know. It takes my body a while to get acclimated, so I wanted to, just take everything off my body for the week and get rejuvenated for the Patriots.
All right, so you wanted to get rejuvenated, I should say.
Yeah.
And you had the opportunity to go to the world's most famous arena.
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden for the latest UFC fights. What was that like on Saturday night?
That was my first time ever attending a fight, and it's really cool, man. It's different, You kind of have people going in and out. All of a sudden, at the end, the stadium's full, but you kind of like, how did it get this way? No one was sitting down 10 minutes ago, and yeah, man, it was really cool. You got a lot of emotion depending on who you think is going to win, and I didn't know I was honestly as big of a fan as I ended up being by the end of that night. So it was really cool to experience a UFC fight.
What was your favorite fight of the evening, and can you talk about your partnership with On Location, what you were doing throughout the evening?
Yeah, so On Location provided us with a suite. Did an interview before we did before we went up and got in the suite and got to our seats. We did an interview, which was really cool, and overall just made it a good experience for me. I didn't really know what I was getting into going to the fight, but they kind of guided me through it, told me where I was going, showed me how to get around MSG and walk past Stephen A. Got to say hello, stuff like that, man. It was cool. So yeah, no, On Location was really helpful. But tell me what the first part of the question was. I'm sorry.
Your favorite brawl of the evening?
Oh, favorite fight of the evening.
Yeah.
Adesanya lost, so I had to say Wei Lee, I believe her name was.
Yeah.
The co-main event. She was awesome. I feel like she got it done fast. I kind of knew she was going to get it done fast. And I kind of watched like some YouTube videos before leading up to her because I just heard she was a beast, and Tatum was all in on it. And she did a good job, so she was fun to watch.
The main event, what's your major takeaway from that where somebody has control for 4 rounds and then something flips?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Pereira had his mindset when he came out that 5th round that it's got to end here because he know that if he don't knock him out, he was going to lose, And, yeah, I mean, that's a mindset you can take into a lot of different things you do in life. It's never over till it's over. You got to finish.
Yep.
And yeah, just like I said, it's never over till it's over. I mean, he was clearly losing the fight, at least from my judge eyes up in the box.
Oh, I think you're right.
I think I was right. I feel like that's the majority, the understanding of it. But yeah, I mean, he came out in round 5 and really proved something. So unexpected and also just the emotion that all those fighters have after winning, man. It's awesome to see because, you put as much into it as they do. And, I see a few parallels, with playing football. And, but besides that, like, it's not a team sport. It's everything's on them,
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool, man, just all the pressure on it and everything.
Did it get real quiet when it was clear that Adesanya was out? Because I think most of the crowd was probably behind him.
No, for sure. I would say it sounded like about 80-90% of us were there to see Adesanya, win and keep the belt. But, yeah, man, Pereira, I mean, he was getting booed, all that. He handled it, man. He handled it and pushed through at the end. So it did get quiet. If I remember correctly, it got quiet. I was so mad, honestly.
Were you really?
I was mad. I'm not going to lie, man. I was mad. I kind of lost it for like 10 seconds right after the fight and had to get up out of there. But it definitely got quiet. I feel like, I wasn't the only one feeling that way.
Do you see any parallels what happened there and what's happening with you guys on the road so far this season? Because I go back to Cleveland and think about how eerily quiet that stadium became when Corey has the long touchdown reception. You guys recover the onside kick, and then you end it with the touchdown reception from Joe.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of do see some parallels. You know, we're on the road team, and you got to embrace those moments. You know, you got to embrace being the underdog, being the one that everyone wants to see fail. Man, you got to embrace those moments and kind of use it to fuel you. And yeah, you know, Pereira obviously did a good job of that, but we've done a great job with that throughout the season. You know, winning on the road, and hopefully it's something that can carry into the second half of the season. You know, but when you have that mentality and that, you know, we have something to prove when we're going on the road, and that, you know, we could turn this into our place. I feel like it carries over well, and yeah, I feel like we've done a good job of that so far.
How much do you like the vibe of New York, of playing here? Like, you just attended a big-time event in the city, but MetLife Stadium is rocking now because everybody's on board with the Jets being 6-3.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the stadium is a whole lot different than the first 3 weeks. You know, we were in there. The last couple of weeks have been electric in there, and man, it's really special playing up here, especially winning. You know, obviously I haven't been anywhere else. I can't speak on, you know, anywhere else as far as NFL, but I can't imagine it being better than this. You know, and as far as off the field, man, you got every opportunity at your feet. You know, I feel like you can never run out of things to do as far as in this, you know, 25-mile radius. It's really crazy. And I'm just blessed to be here. And every day, you know, I wake up in New York, I'm like, what am I going to do today, man? I really got all the options. You know, I got to practice, but what I'm going to do? And I love that about it. It's really special out here.
You're the only rookie receiver who had 90 yards receiving in his first 9 games in the National Football League. You've high expectations for yourself, always have. What do you think about your start here?
I feel like, you know, it's had its ups and downs, and I feel like I'm starting to get it a little bit. I'm starting to feel like myself again. At least personally, I know I'm feeling like myself, and yeah, you know, it's been everything I expected and then some. But you know, for me to put a lot of pressure on myself and expect me not to mess up or make some mistakes here and there when this is my first time experiencing, you know, something like this, was unrealistic for me. So, you know, I'm glad I had some bumpy starts and bumpy games, you know, to get those hopefully out the system and never return. But overall, man, I feel good. I feel like I'm learning every week. I feel like I'm getting better every week, and, you know, that's all I can really ask for.
How would you describe those bumps?
Yeah,
like, from afar, people would be like, gee, he's taking care of business out there.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I know my ability, and I put some balls on the ground, some drops early, and that started in camp. So, you know, and that started in OTAs actually, and it carried into the start of the season, and just getting into my routes fast, blocking wise. You know, there's a lot of things that we go watch the film that when you really go and watch and dig deep and look for something to get better at, you'll find. You know, I'm not watching it to see, you know, why this. You know, I'm not watching my film to see how I scored that touchdown. I'm watching it to correct.
Right.
How I could have scored faster, made it easier on myself to make a catch, and that's got to be the mentality I take into the film room, take into the practice field. You know, I got to find something to improve on every day just so I can keep building, man, because the moment I don't, you know, you're going to fall off, and I don't want that to be the case, you know. But, yeah, those bumps, they haven't been too bumpy so far, but overall I just know myself and know that I left some plays on the field, and I would want them back.
How big were the last 2 weeks for you and the young quarterback, Zach Wilson? Because there was a spot there where, hey, a lot of balls weren't coming your way, but we saw it against the Patriots. We saw it against the Bills. Like, can you guys carry that momentum now heading into this post-bye stretch?
Yeah, it's just building. It's been building since he got back, since camp, honestly. And, you know, we had that hiccup in between where he got hurt. And ever since he got back, man, we've just been continuing to build. And it kind of goes back to what I'm saying, get better every day. And that's not just in the film room, not just on the practice field, with Zach, with our relationship, you know, all those things. And Zach has a same mindset about that. You know, we always trying to improve something. He comes in the room and talks about what we, you know, what we can do this week to exploit something, or what we need to work on, what he saw on film. And for me personally, being a young dude and him being a young dude, man, that's great for me. I need to hear that. I need to hear what my quarterback's thinking, because at the end of the day, I want to be what he wants me to do. I want to be whatever he wants me to be. You know, I want to get the ball as much as possible. I want to make the play. I want to make every play that he throws to me. And so it's important that we have those conversations, that we have those that we have those talks and corrections so that we can, be on the same page and be hitting on all cylinders when it comes Sunday.
Did you have an opportunity to watch any ball on Sunday?
Yeah,
because
that's all I did.
I wanted to ask you about the Vikings game with the Buffalo Bills.
It was a great game, man. I never seen nothing like it, for real. It's crazy.
So, obviously, that was a good finish for you guys.
Yeah.
Because look at you guys sitting there 6-3, a half game behind the Miami Dolphins. You're tied technically with the Buffalo Bills, but you have a better record than them and also beat them inside the division. But I wanted to ask you about two performers in that game.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson. What do you like most about his game, and what did you see on Sunday that you really appreciated?
Just the way he gets in and out of his breaks, man. It's really special in his ability to deceive the DBs, man. He's got a really special rocker step, that you don't see in a lot of receivers where they can. To me, it looked like he played hoops growing up. It looked like he, has got a little crossover in and out. Like, he's got all that. And you can tell it translates to the football field real well. And then, but, him and his quarterback on the same page all the time. And it's really fun to watch, man. I had a whole lot of fun watching that game. And I didn't know it was at noon, right? Wasn't that one of the noon games, or was that at 4?
It was 1. Yeah,
it was
1 o'clock.
Okay, 1 o'clock one. Excuse me. Yeah, I didn't know that game was on, so I turned on TV and that game's on. I'm like, oh, it's real good. 7-1, 6-2, and the Bills gave it to him. I think I'm not gonna lie, but overall, Justin Jefferson, that was top 5 performance I watched.
Really?
Yeah, I would say top 5, man. When
so
he made
what did
the
you
catches,
think about that catch on 4th and long?
it's when you make the catches. That's special. The DB caught it for him.
Yeah,
and He went and got it, man. He took it from him, man. It's 4th down, I think it was.
Yeah, 4th and long.
4th and long.
4th and forever.
Minute left. It's special. That's when you got to do that. That's when you got to make those plays, and he did it, man. That's what we grow up talking about. That's what my pops grew up telling me. This big players make big plays. That's the definition of that right there.
What about Diggs? It's funny because I was watching an interview you had with Caroline here recently, and one of the shots the folks in the back used was you doing a one-handed catch at practice. What did you think about his one-handed catch?
Oh, his one hand was sweet, man. I honestly thought that was the better catch.
Yeah?
But the moment of it is what sways,
right.
Tips the scale. But yeah, Diggs played well as well, man. He's really fun to watch and got to go against his former team. I feel like he had no choice but to put the ball out, honestly. The Vikings came out firing. Justin Jefferson had like 70 yards in the first drive, so Diggs had the ball, and he did that, man. He really balled, and him and Josh Allen also, they got a great connection, always on the same page, but even when they're not, Diggs will go make a play for him or vice versa, and that was one of the better games I've watched in a long time, man.
What makes Diggs so impressive? Because he doesn't run routes that you typically see a receiver run, I would say. He's just very unique the way he approaches it.
I think his false acceleration is really good. He's got a great ability to look like he's pushing vertical really hard when really he's perfectly under control. And the DB has a hard time, being able to tell if he's running full speed or if he's jogging. And, it's false acceleration, and it truly is a skill. You got to build that. You don't want to always look like you're running to go when you're running to go. So I feel like he does a good job of setting things up, and also you can tell he's great in the film room. I think first play last week they come out and he slips inside on the go ball against us and catches it down the sideline for about 30-40, and that's film work. He ain't know Sauce was going to play it like that, but he watched film and you could tell. That's what I see in him, and got a lot of respect for that. And you got a chip on the shoulder. You always go out there with something to prove.
Do you take parts of each of their games?
Oh yeah, sure.
Because you can see it the way you have. You have a unique style, but also at the same time, your teammate Tyler Conklin, who played with Justin in Minnesota, he was the first guy here who said, "You know who I see in Garrett? I see a little bit of Justin Jefferson."
Yeah, no, I try and take something from both of their games for sure. I'd be dumb not to. They're both such great players and do things so well that, being a young dude that coming into the league and didn't really know exactly what I was getting into, that's all I was watching is Jay Jettis, Devontae Adams, Stefon Diggs. I love being a student of the game and studying the other receivers and learning how they attack DBs and trying to add something to my game, But, they all move different. We all move different. And, there's certain ways you can add certain things that, only Justin Jettis can do that, because it's the way his body moves, But, what I can add, I'll try and add for sure, And, yeah.
Did you talk to Diggs after the game?
I ain't talked to him.
No?
I wanted to, man. I feel like I saw him, and I got approached by someone to do, like, a little talk thing, and by the time I turned around, he was gone, man. So,
right.
I mean, I don't blame him. They had lost, and I know I am after a loss. I say what's up to whoever come up to me, but besides that, I'm out of there. And hopefully next game I'll be able to chop it up with him because he's obviously one of my favorite receivers.
That's going to be a huge game. You got a big one coming up.
WynnBET is bringing the excitement of Wynn Las Vegas to online sports betting and casino play. Get in on all your favorite teams, players, and sports. From boosted parlays to live in-game odds on every major sport, they have what you need to win. Jets fans in New Jersey, sign up today and use promo code XJETS. And after placing your first $100 wager, you will receive $100 to bet with. You will receive a $50 free bet and a $50 casino bonus. Again, the promo code is XJETS. Offer subject to change. Offer only available in New Jersey. Terms and conditions apply. You must be 21 or older to participate. Please visit wynnbet.com to view welcome offers available in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia.
When we look ahead to the Patriots, do you feel as an individual and as a team that you guys let one slip away the first time you met them?
I do. And the thing is with this league, man, that it doesn't really matter, It doesn't really matter. You got to go out and win the game. You got to go out and do it. You could look at watch the film and get an idea of how this game should go or how you're going to play, but you got to go out there and do it on Sunday. And we left a lot of players on the field. We didn't play our best, and we got beat because of it. And, that's the reality of it with this league, man. You're not just going to really stumble upon a win. No matter what the circumstances are, you got to go win the game. And,
You had a big game against them, though.
Yeah,
and Belichick, you go over 100 yards. And I believe he had around 8 catches. He probably targeted 9 times. And that's one of the most impressive stats when you look at your stat line a lot of times, is that not only are you coming out with the receptions, but your percentage is so high in terms of the targets that you're coming down with the football. But Belichick's known over the years to take away what an offense does well.
Yeah.
What do you think he's going to have in store for 17 the second time around?
They got me a few times on Judon, getting into the flat and checking the slot receiver. And I feel like I'll see a lot more of that. If they watch film, the one time or at least one of the 2 times that he did it, he got me and I was on the floor, didn't get in my route. So I feel like they'll probably do that. But, I'll have a plan. I'll have a different plan than going into this game. We just played them 2 weeks ago, and I just saw this DB group, man, and I feel like I'll have a good plan of how to go about it, man. So a lot of respect to Belichick, but, we got something over here, and, I'm confident in my ability. Whatever he's got for me, we're going to be all right.
Yeah. You're a football player. You get it done from the outside and the inside. Do you have preferences, or it just depends on the game, as far as where you're lining up?
It definitely depends on the game, but, slot is easier. Slot's the easier receiver position, just as far as you can play with a lot of more backyard football rules. You can play with a lot of field. You don't have a sideline, shortening your releases, or not your releases. Yeah, your releases, your exit angles. When you're on the sideline in the boundary, especially, you can't really get that wide on your release because the sideline's right there. In the slot, you got the whole field, and the nickel knows that too. He's worried about the whole field. So I feel that whenever I'm in the slot, man. I feel like, you could really use a lot of those things against him. And it's one of the harder positions to play on defense as well, that nickel position. So
there's so much traffic.
There's so much traffic, so much to deal with. But on offense, I like to use all that with me. I could run him into that linebacker, if he's running with me. Those type of things. And slot, you can play with a lot of field. I like the outside, though. Like you said, I want to be able to play both and do it well. I want to be able to play both well.
Yeah, it was like a 50-50 split, I think, if you look at the first 9 games. How much does it change the dynamic whenever you guys get Corey back, because he was such a big part of this offense? And Can you speak to the transition, I guess, that you guys constantly have to undergo just because of injuries, right? Because if Corey comes back, and obviously this team continues to try to find ways to get Elijah the ball as well.
Yeah, man, having CD back will be huge because, first off, that's the big dog in the room. That's the vet, man, and we all look to him. And he the one that break us out at practice. He the one that break us out before the game. Get us in the right headspace. And just personally, I know I love him. So like having him back, I'm gonna just feel better taking the field with CD, man. It's something that he brings to the field that not everyone does. It's not always the players that get the glory. And he does it. He does everything so well. But he's also willing to put his body on the line for the team and for his teammates. And that's a special part for me, man. Seeing him go down, I was really worried. But to know that we're gonna get him back in a few weeks here, or maybe this week,
right.
I'm really excited. So, I can't wait to see CD out there.
Do you tell Elijah to keep his head up, or you being a rookie that, hey, I know different guys have different situations, and that he's a very valuable part to this team. It's just a matter of time before he gets going too.
With E, me and his relationship so good. We really talk about anything, everything. So like, I try not to tell him anything as far as that. Keep your head up, normal stuff. Like it's gonna come, and he knows that. But yeah, man, we just push each other every day. That's the main thing with me and E. We're gonna push each other. We're gonna be like, good route, bad hands on that one. And that's me and his relationship. I don't want to try and influence his mindset or anything. We all here for our reasons and got different things to prove. And that's him, that's CD, that's Mims, that's me, all of us. And we're gonna keep pushing. That's all I'm gonna say. Whenever he gets his opportunity, he's gonna take advantage. I'm confident in that because that boy is nice.
And you guys continue to encourage each other. Yeah,
exactly, man. It's all love in that room. So, yeah, man, we all just come in each day and do what's asked of us. And, whether it's a lot or a little, it's not up to us.
Yeah.
We just love each other. That's
right.
really all it is. The receiver room, we just love each other, man. And it's special for it to be that way. I'm sure it's not that way everywhere.
Why are you sitting here right now? Because you might be able to be in an NBA room. You had multiple Division I scholarship offers. You were tearing it up on the hardwood back in high school.
I'm trying, man.
You
Appreciate
were.
That was pretty good.
Was that a hard decision for you to go football?
It wasn't, because I was 5'11", 6 foot type. So my pops played. He's 6'5", and just looking at it, 6 foot point guard. If I was 6'5", I'll still probably be a point guard.
Yeah.
So like that's how the league's turning as far as the NBA. And it was a business decision, man. I love basketball. It was my first love. Love football too. And it was a business decision. I love playing, and I was 6 foot. This guy like Ben Simmons gonna match up with me on.
Yeah, but you can get to the rim.
I can get to the rim.
You can get to the rim.
It's twisted. It's just gonna be a whole lot harder to get the ball off now.
Yeah.
So like, and I started to realize that in the AU, and I was really good. I was really good at basketball. I was able to finish. I was a great finisher. At finishing around people, but man, it's just they 7 feet, 7'2". All of a sudden, these dudes 7'6" now. Like,
right.
It's just leagues turning, and yeah, it was a business decision. That's the best way I could put it. Going to college to play basketball or to play football was a business decision. I wanted to give myself the best opportunity to make this a long-term success for me.
Do you watch some of your dad's old highlights from Davidson?
I
Never.
I seen a few clips. This is back in the 80s, early 80s. I've seen a few clips. I've never pulled up a whole game or nothing like that.
Really?
I should. But, yeah, I seen a clip when they beat Duke with Coach K. I think they beat Notre Dame, Bobby Knight.
He was like 7th all time in scoring at Davidson.
7th all time at Davidson, yeah. He is.
Do you play with him?
Yeah, we all played growing up. That's how we got good, is trying to beat our pops. And he played until he was about 45, 47.
Really?
He did. So we played different leagues, different rec leagues.
What kind of lessons did he give you when you were playing with him?
So many lessons, man, that you ain't going to get nothing to you. Like, he ain't going to let you win. And no one beat him. I was the first brother to beat him, and I was in 8th grade when I beat him. He was just getting a little older, couldn't guard me. That's all it was. He just couldn't guard me. But if I played him in horse or anything like that, I still lose.
Would he give you the outside shot? How do you try to defend you?
I mean, he was trying to guard me for real. Like,
Yeah.
he was trying to guard me and do all of it, and I'm blowing by him, and I knew what he couldn't, what his strengths were and stuff like that, or what he wouldn't be able to do. So I was just using my speed. But yeah, man, so many great lessons growing up with 3 brothers and an older dad that's still competitive, man. I mean, we were talking trash with Pops, and I was probably too young to be saying some of the things I said.
Yeah?
Like, we was going at it, man, And since I was a young kid, I watched my older brothers compete with my Pops, and they all 7 years, 8 years, 9 years older than me. So I wanted to be involved. I was watching, and I feel like I was left out because they would say I'm not old enough and stuff like that. So, I kind of was able to get into it earlier. They kind of let me in early. But, yeah, a lot of great lessons.
Who was your favorite player, NBA?
NBA player?
Yeah.
Probably Carmelo when I was growing up.
Was your dog's name Carmelo?
Yeah, I love Carmelo. That ain't right, though.
But you had such a different game.
Yeah, no, I didn't play. I wouldn't say I was trying to play with him. Like, growing up, like, high school favorite player was, like, Derrick Rose. Because he was at Simeon. We lived in Illinois. And we was living in Chicago, and he was at Simeon, and he was just the man. Like,
He was
number one
crazy.
player in the country. Like, he was crazy. And one of our friends, like Brandon Paul, who played at Illinois, a really good player at Illinois, they would, like, go at it a little bit, and we would always watch. And I love Derrick Rose. I loved him growing up. I still do, man. Happy on the Knicks now.
Hey, UT, when you were at Lake Travis,
Yeah.
were there a lot of people hounding you, or they understood, hey, listen, he's got roots back there in C-Bus, so he probably going to go to Ohio State?
Yeah, I mean, they were hounding me a little bit, just because that's how it is in Texas, man. Everyone thinks that Texas is the end-all, be-all.
Yeah.
And for me, it wasn't that. And, I got a lot of love for Austin, but it just wasn't right for me to go to Texas, at least at that moment. And my dad and mom had a big influence on my decision, and they helped me out. They were great at reading people, and we love Coach Day, man. So that was really what it came down to.
How much did Day help you as far as not only what you did in college, but what you're doing now every day at the pro level?
Yeah, I mean, he had been around these pro ranks and knew how practice should look and knew how our individual drills should look, along with Coach Hartline. They both built a schedule and built a practice and environment for us as receivers and young players that get you ready for this step to the next level. And I feel like you see it all over the league with Buckeyes being good players at the next level. And yeah, I'm really thankful for that, man. I feel like it's honestly started back with Urban there, and they had something built there where players knew how to practice. The brotherhood was real, and it was no taking the playoff. It was iron on iron versus iron every practice, you know. And it wasn't going against scouts at practice like, no, we're going. And I still carry a lot of that with me, run on the field. It's just different. It's different because I see people from other schools as well, and it's just different the way they went about business there. And I'm thankful for it, man. I feel like it's responsible for, who I am right now.
How special is this rookie class?
Really
You got
special.
yourself, got Sauce, got Jermaine, you got Max Mitchell, you got Brees Hall, who was having an outstanding year before he got hurt. You got Michael Clemens, you got Ruckert. I know I'm probably forgetting somebody, but
Yeah, I mean, it's some dogs in there, man, and TA, like, it's so many dogs in there that's bringing something to the table, bringing something different to this team, and we all know we're rookies, but we wanted to have an impact and be people in the facility that people counted on and relied on, and I feel like we're doing a good job with that, man. So it's just getting better every day now. That's the goal, and that's always been the goal. But we got to just continue on. It's about being consistent, man. How often can you do it? And we're trying to build that as young players, and I feel like the facility is noticing.
what do you think about what's ahead? Like we talked about, now you got this final stretch of games. This organization hasn't made the playoffs since 2010,
Wow.
but sitting there right in front of you right now. Obviously, everybody's going to talk about the process. You can't get anywhere ahead of yourselves because it's the Patriots first. But just where you've kind of set yourself up for in terms of this run.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of big games that, as a competitor that you want to be in. And, I look at the schedule, I see the Patriots, I see the Bills, Dolphins again, obviously. I see the Minnesota Bears and Justin. I get to play against my dog again. It's going to be a lot of big games that mean something. And as a competitor, that's all you want, man. It's easy to get up out of bed when you're playing for a playoff spot, or playing for a 7-3 record. Those are easy to get up out of bed for. And I'm just excited that we're in this situation. No one had us here. We believed, and that's all that mattered. And now we're here, and what are we gonna do with it? It'll be special this the second half of the season. Hopefully go prove the world that we're here to stay. Just on the fluke.
Yeah, well, you were at a big fight Saturday night. You have plenty of big fights ahead of you.
Exactly.
Congratulations on the start to your career. Can't wait to see what's ahead in the second half.
Man, appreciate that. Thank you for having me on.